Okay. Thank you all for returning today. I heard the call this morning for more frequent updates about the shooting last night at Seattle Center and our ongoing investigation. I want to be transparent, so I've called this press conference, and we will be holding another tomorrow at noon at this same location. Right now, tensions are high, and there's a lot of time-sensitive work to do. I've asked Assistant Chief Nicole Powell, who is in charge of the Investigation Bureau, to present with me this afternoon. She's heading up this investigation. We continue to make sure that victims receive the care and the resources that they need. Our immediate priorities are to help families remain safe, reduce the risk of future violence, and make sure that they have practical and emotional support during these first days following the shooting. As a recap, shortly after 6 p.m. last night, officers responded to the sound of gunfire. They were supporting the Bite of Seattle and within seconds took a suspect into custody. We shared this morning that a 19-year-old man, a 44-year-old man, and a 56-year-old woman were killed. 2 died at the scene, and a 3rd passed away at Harborview Medical Center. Official identification will come from the King County Medical Examiner's Office, and we expect the names of the deceased to be released this afternoon, really anytime. Our Human Services Department Victim Advocates team is working with the Seattle Police Department to support the needs of the victims and their families. We are so grateful for their incredible work and dedication. We now know that at least 2 people exchanged gunfire outside the Seattle Center Armory. 1 is in custody, and a 2nd has been identified as the 19-year-old deceased man. This is new information in our ongoing investigation. Police continue to look for a 3rd possible suspect. And please, we're still seeking more information, so if you have information, call the tip line at 206-233-5000. Our next steps in this investigation include reviewing bullet casings, investigative interviews, following leads that come in through the tip line, and reviewing any available camera footage. While the Seattle Center cameras were not located where the scene of the crime was, next steps include looking at the video to see if they offer any new information. As you are aware, the Seattle Police Department detained a 15-year-old juvenile in connection with the shooting, and this individual had their first court hearing at 1:30 p.m. and remains in custody. The scene at Seattle Center has been cleared and the grounds are open today. I want to acknowledge all of the Seattle Center staff who've been looking after folks and cleaning up. From across the entire campus, from security to event staff and everyone who has had to respond and continue working, many often invisible in this work, and they are just as traumatized by what has happened as the visitors. The team has been unbelievable, working 20-hour shifts. So to our leadership and staff at Seattle Center, the city's gratitude is with you all. And I also want to express profound gratitude to our police officers who've been working nonstop since this tragedy occurred and are providing regular updates to my office. Thank you to the Victim Advocates team at the Human Services Department and our community partners focused on violence interruption who are offering in-home support to help families understand and navigate hospital, legal, victim support, and other systems. These teams are also convening community to assess the possibility of retaliation, identify ongoing safety concerns, and help the people involved navigate those risks. Thank you all for coming. We will continue releasing information as more becomes available. And so I want to turn it over to Assistant Chief Nicole Powell to share a few updates on the investigation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Nicole Powell, the Assistant Chief of Investigations for the Seattle Police Department. I want to give you an update on the tragedy at the Seattle Center last night. This is all preliminary information, subject to change. This investigation is active and ongoing. Our detectives are working tirelessly on this case. At this point, we believe this could be gang-related. There were 2 groups firing in the area near the armory during the Bite of Seattle. We believe 2 of the individuals were associates with each other. This is the 19-year-old who passed away and the 15-year-old who was arrested last night. There have been a lot of questions about cameras. Our detectives are still collecting and reviewing video evidence from buildings around the area. I want to thank our officers who selfishly ran into danger, our detectives and professional staff who are working together on this investigation. These men and women serve Seattle day in and day out with pride and dedication. Again, I want to emphasize, this information that I provide today is preliminary. Once we have additional information, we will provide it to the public. And if anyone have any video, seen anything, please call our violent crimes tip line at 206-233-5000. Thank you.
We could take a few questions.
Has there been, have you all been able to interview the 15-year-old suspect? Has that suspect been cooperative?
It's an active investigation. I can't give the information right now.
I was wondering if you could say a little bit about what this means for the city of Seattle, kind of coming off the high of the World Cup and the Summer of Timothy and a lot of like lighthearted, good feelings about Seattle, and to now have this very terrible tragedy that is making international headlines. What does this mean for you and kind of like for this moment in Seattle?
I mean, I think this is weighing on us all right now, certainly weighing on me. I also just want to recognize that we've had a number of tragic incidents of gun violence this year, and all of them take very, very seriously. So I think, everyone deserves to feel safe in our city, to be safe in our city, in all of our neighborhoods, in all of our public space. And we're going to be working as hard as we can to make that the reality, because we know that the future of our city, its vitality, our quality of life, depends on people feeling safe wherever they are in our city. So that's my very highest priority.
Yeah. Was there any altercation between the 19-year-old and the 15-year-old before this? Did any witnesses hear any fighting? Was there anything that you can identify that happened prior to the shooting?
This is still an active investigation. We're still interviewing witnesses, so it's going to take some time to go through all of that.
Kamari?
Yeah. Listening to your preliminary investigation there, you mentioned that this very well could be gang-related. What steps is the city of Seattle taking, considering that there's other festivals that are on the horizon here, or Moja Fest, different concerts coming up, of course, and that's our communities across the city, where it seems like two people who might not have known each other or liked each other, probably knew each other, started gunfire. What's the city's plan to be able to make public gatherings safe, considering we're in festival season right now?
Yeah, I think this is going to be an ongoing collaboration between the city, all of our partners, county, Office of Gun Violence Prevention, all of our community partners. So it's going to take all of us. And, I think, part of this is having the right kind of official presence at events. Part of this is just making sure that we're working with our community partners that are doing violence intervention work. So we're going to be making this plan together as the days go on.
Do you know more about the 27-year-old who arrived at UW Medical Center yesterday? Is that person definitively related to this shooting?
No additional information than what was provided earlier today.
With one outstanding suspect, is there an ongoing threat to the public? And can you elaborate more on the relationship between the 15-year-old and the 19-year-old?
This is an active investigation, so I'm limited what I can say. What I want is to encourage the public who was out there. There was a lot of people. If they have any videos or any witnesses seeing anything, please call that tip line. We're still trying to ascertain that information. As soon as we have it, we're going to make sure we put it out as soon as possible.
Yeah, hi, I'm just trying to peg down some of the specifics here. So according to the court documents, the 19-year-old who later passed away was detained at the same time as the 15-year-old. So those two were associated, and there's a third person, at least one more person out there that you're still looking for, who potentially they were attempting to attack, or vice versa. Can you help me understand, and maybe also how many guns were involved in
So
this?
the information I provided today, right now, is what we have. It's still an active investigation, so I can't provide any additional information. Once we get it, we will provide it to the public.
According to court documents, the verbiage in the super form says that the 19-year-old was a second shooter. Why didn't you guys release that this morning?
It is an active investigation, I think. Once we get that information, once we get the witness statement and videos and obtain more information, is the information that we put out right now. Like I said, it's preliminary, and things are subject to change as the investigation goes on. So as we're investigating it, we'll provide more information.
Well, I was just wondering because it's obviously on the super form. So the police already said that. So my question is, why did we have to have a second press conference to get that information when we could have got it this morning?
I mean, I'll just say that my office received that information in the last hour or two. So, I mean, things are unfolding very rapidly, and we're getting reports that then, in some cases, subsequently turn out not to be true. So we're trying our best to be able to provide timely information.
Go over here since you haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah, is there a reason Chief Barnes isn't here? Has he been communicating with you? If you didn't learn about this information that was already filed in court earlier today around noon, or even earlier, potentially, how's the communication been, and why isn't he here?
I mean, again, Assistant Chief Nicole Powell is here because she is the one heading up this investigation and was able to provide us with an update. Again, information is going back and forth between multiple parties very fast right now. So, you know, we've received that information in the last couple hours, and we're able to share it right now.
Okay, let's do like one more. Go ahead.
Where were the guns recovered on scene, and have you been able to run them to see if they've been stolen, used in any other crimes?
It's an active investigation. I can provide that information.
Do you understand why people might be frustrated that that's the recurring answer that we're getting today?
I understand as we get information that we can release to the public, we will provide as soon as we can.
So we'll be back here again at noon tomorrow, and as we have more information, then we'll be happy to share it with you.
Quick thought before you go. I just want to say, and I think I can speak for all members of the media here, that we're partners. We're partners with you guys. That's what we do. That's what we see ourselves as public servants too. And we're not always treated that way.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're doing here is we're trying not to provide inaccurate information that later we have to walk back. So I appreciate you all being here and helping us in the all-important mission of keeping the public informed about what is happening. And again, we are trying our best to provide the most accurate information we can in a timely manner. Thank you.
Thank you.